Hey guys, welcome to my free webinar. And this is where we're going to talk about how you can learn about automated bot trading. But first, I want to ask you, are you someone that meets any of these requirements, any of these thoughts? Are you struggling with trading? Or your emotions maybe are all over the place? Maybe you don't think you have what it takes, can't seem to figure it out as it relates to trading stocks, as it relates to trading Forex, crypto, futures, oil, gold, all the things. Maybe you're freezing up, you're not sure what to do. Maybe you're just overall losing money. And so if any of those are you, and you're looking for something that can give you some side hustle, some supplemental income, and or freedom and money to travel, then this is for you. So maybe you have a funded prop firm account. You're thinking it's taking too long to get funded. Maybe you lost money last year in 2022 when you were unable to adapt to the changing market conditions. Maybe right now you're taking big losses. Maybe you don't trust yourself. Maybe, just maybe, you never had a great plan to begin with, right? And so my solution, this is the way I want to approach this class, is that I want you guys to think about using free bots that I provide, and you pay for the training, but I give you the free bots in class. Now, one of my biggest pet peeves is I've seen lots of trading bots. I've seen dozens. I've bought them. I've played with them. I understand they work. I've talked to some of the developers. I've had their sales guys call me. I've had even a $30,000 DocuSign show up in my inbox, and all I did was leave an email address, and they send me a $30,000 invoice to buy one of these bots. All that was so annoying and irritating and frustrating that I decided to do something about it. And this is kind of my approach. This is how I teach bot trading, where I give you the bots for free. I give you 4 bots, 4 of my most popular bots for free during my class. During 4 weeks, it's an 8-hour or 8 session. Each one's about an hour. It starts at the beginning of every month, and I give you the bots for free, but you pay for the training. Now, most people are like, "Hey, if the bot does everything, why do I need training? What is there to do?" But really, at the end of the day, it's a little more complex than just turning a bot on. First of all, you got to know how they work. You absolutely have to understand how the bot works, like what exact strategy is working. Because if it's taking nothing but losing trades, how do you know if it's just not working or if there's some kind of malfunction? And you put those into multiple accounts and they lose. And you guys can understand the frustration that comes to that. It's not just as simple as turning it on. You have to understand how it works. You have to be able to run and understand how to run a back test. You have to run and understand how to run an optimization test, a bucket test, parallel testing, and also iterative testing. And how do you know how to do all that if you give them a check for thousands of dollars, or in this case, $30,000, and I have no idea what's included. I have no idea what the heck's going on. Once they have my money, good luck, Matt. I hope that works for you. That's usually most of their attitude is, I don't have to help you. You already sold. I'm not going to help, right? And so the thing I've come to understand is that bots are a lot like fireworks. They can blow up in your hand, and they're beautiful and amazing once you understand how they work. The first thing you have to, of course, understand how to do is run those historical back tests. And so part of what you got to do is you got to learn how to make decisions like a data scientist. Imagine running a report that tells you Nvidia or Amazon or the US dollar euro pair or Bitcoin, like what bot works better on what stocks, on what time frame, with what settings. Each bot has about a dozen different time frames. And how are you going to know if you don't understand how to operate them, how to configure the settings? And so this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not an ATM machine. Most people assume you click a button on the bot, now comes money. Like you guys know this. I wish it was that simple. It's more, these are very powerful software tools, but you have to understand how they work. And of course, nothing is guaranteed. When you're taking risks in the stock market, when you're taking Forex risk, crypto, when you're placing trades, no matter where you buy, the stock and the price can always go lower. So again, it's not a guarantee But the way that I think about it is that success with these bots, it's really only half of the formula. The other half is, what do you run it on? Do you run it on Tesla? Do you run it on Bitcoin? Do you run it on a 5-minute chart? Do you run it on a 1 hour chart? Do you run it on a daily chart? Do you run it only on Thursdays? Do you run it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Like, all of those factors also make up the other half of the success formula in and of itself. And so part of you would say, well, Matt, well, who are you to have to speak on this and to teach this? And my name is Matt DeLong, and I've been working with stock trading and automation for 5 years. I was formerly a CEO of a software company for 14 years and went on to sell that for millions of dollars back in 2016. You can Google it. And I'm currently the CTO, the Chief Technology Officer for Real Life Trading for the past 4 years. And my business partner and I, Jeremy, and I have been at the Money Show in Vegas and elsewhere in the world speaking for the past 3 years. You guys can see some of the presentations that we've done on the stage there at the bottom. Now, some of the benefits, you're like, well, Matt, what's the advantage? What's the purpose of using bot trading versus manual trading? And the first thing I will tell you is absolutely speed. These things can make decisions, put out orders, and get into a trade faster than you can even think, faster before you can even calculate manually putting an order. Of course, doing it automatically gives you another benefit, which is they are very, very accurate. They don't make mistakes, right? These are software tools, and the accuracy, and of course, you're able to reduce those emotions. A lot of times when we've had several losing trades in a row, we feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know if this strategy has stopped working, or I don't, right? You kind of have those negative feelings, and that affects any future trades that you make. And so one of the things I wanted to share with you guys here in this webinar is that losing trades is part of the business. It's part of it. Don't spend too much time trying to never lose ever. It's like trying to run a small business that never has expenses. So I want you to relate. Winning trades are kind of like revenue for a small business. Losing trades are kind of like those expenses. And sometimes you get multiple expenses. You get some invoices that come in. Maybe it's insurance, maybe it's payroll, maybe it's rent has come due. Like, you got some bills coming in and there's no new money coming in, right? Maybe a client is still waiting to pay you, right? And so sometimes when you have 3 or 4 or 5 invoices in a row that you have to pay, those are like 3 or 4 or 5 losses in a row. Doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. Doesn't mean the strategy is garbage. It just means you're in a little bit of a losing streak. That's it. There's no emotional connection there, especially when you're using bots. But keep in mind that the back testing, this powerful software can tell you probabilities and statistics over what works best. Like which bot works on what time frame, on what chart, on what asset class, over what time frame. Those are all things that this software can do, and it can run thousands, if not tens of thousands, of iterative back tests over whatever time frame you specify, and it can tell you what the results are. And more importantly, it can tell you what works the best. Of course, when you do all this and it's placing the orders for you, you do get improved order execution. You get in much, much faster. If you guys can blink, the bots can already place a trade and make a decision and get into a trade before you can even think about throwing an order in manually. Of course, all that does is it creates a lot of pretty powerful efficiency, and it's much, much faster, much cleaner to do it that way. So then you might ask, well, Matt, why haven't you automated everything? Why aren't all my trades automated? Well, when it comes to stock options, there's very, 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 did I say very few tools that I'm able to use to automate option trades. So I do have some trades I still do manually. It is what it is, right? It's part of the game. It's not yet fully automated, but I do manually place some trades. But I will tell you that if you do stay to the end, I will give you my free ebook I just finished building, and it's called How to Build Passive Income. And I tell some stories in here, and I give you some tips. And at the end of it, at the end of the ebook, the last few pages, I show you how to go ahead and get started for free, even if you don't necessarily want to sign up for my class. But what I'm going to tell you is that most people do the opposite of what you would think. Most people will go find some random bot, pay maybe $500, $1,000, even sometimes as much as $30,000, and they have no idea how it works. You don't even know if it's on a losing streak. Is something malfunctioning, or is the bot just, it's on a losing streak? You don't know. If you don't understand how the bot works, how could you possibly know? And a lot of these guys, when I ask them basic questions, they're not super helpful. They don't respond. They already got your money, so what's their incentive, right? And of course, you don't understand how it works, and you're probably losing money, right? And so one of the insights that I learned from using these bots the past few years is that not every strategy works on every stock, every Forex pair, every cryptocurrency, every coin. Like, not everything works on everything, right? So you have to being able to differentiate what works and what doesn't, what stocks work better on what time frames. Maybe Tesla on a 15-minute chart works better and Apple works better on a 1-hour chart. It depends on what strategy, depends on what time frame you're testing. But how about if you use a software tool and you can run thousands or hundreds of thousands of automated back tests, and the results in those reports that they give you, which I'll show you in a second, they can tell you what works best historically so that you feel confident running the bots going into the future. So again, my solution is, again, to let you download the bots for free. I show you how to use them in my class, and we go over them in depth over the course of 8 sessions that spans 4 weeks. It starts at the beginning of every month, beginning of every single month. So some of you guys want to see, hey, what does that look like? What kind of software tools are we using? Well, I teach you how to use this tool. I teach you how to use the software, and you can see these are recent trades from a few months ago. I teach you how to set up, backtest, deploy, optimize, and review each of these bots. And it's pretty simple because this is free software that we're using. The software to download is free. The bots are what I give you in class. The bots are what execute the trades, and those are hand designed and handcrafted by me. Now, you might say, Matt, I don't really have much money to actually trade, so if I pay for the course, I'm not going to have money to trade. But I want to share with you a little tidbit, a little secret that is Real Life Trading, my company. Real Life Trading also, we offer funded account assessment program, which means for as little as $500, you can get a $50,000 assessment account. You grow that 10% and then the money becomes real. And then we can do a 75-25 split with you. We just added, as of like a month ago, we added also an optional fee. You can do a 90-10 split, meaning you keep 90%, we keep 10%. And you can start as little as $500 for these demo accounts. Now, the question is, can I use the bot to help grow that 10%? You have to grow that 10% without breaking any of the rules. So one of the rules is you can't lose more than 6%. No big deal, right? So again, the bots themselves are able to help you grow these assessment accounts. And every week I'm interviewing some of my students who've got their accounts funded, and there's more interviews coming out there on either the Real Life Trading YouTube channel or my personal YouTube channel. And every single week I'm interviewing people who grew their account 10%, either using bots or a mix of manual trading and automated trading as well. So that is that's a way to get started in trading without using a bunch of money. And of course, worst case scenario, you're only out $500 if you blow up the account. You're not losing tons and tons, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars if it doesn't work. It's in a very, very localized kind of small account, small environment. So here is a kind of a look at a back test. And this is showing that I have $158,000 profit. And I only have a small drawdown. It's just a little less, but 3.78% drawdown. What does that mean? That means I grew the account, and I started with a $500,000 account. I grew it quite a bit, right? This is what the back test report shows you. It's grown significantly, but it has a very, 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 very small drawdown, And so what this shows you is this is kind of what this looks like. This is the life of the trading balance, up, down, it doesn't always win, which is kind of funny when you see bots and Instagram ads where people are like, my bot never loses. I'm like, that's total garbage, total nonsense. And if they never lose, it's because they never exit a losing trade. They just stay in it until it starts winning. But as some of you guys know, you can lose huge chunks of your account if you stay in a losing trade too long, where maybe you're down 5%, then 10%. I've actually seen other people's bots that are down 10, 20, 30%. And your account might be down huge amounts where you're trying to make a tiny win. To me, that's an unnecessary risk. You don't have to do it that way. It is what it is, but it doesn't have to be that way. The other thing is, I'll show you here. This is one of my actual accounts where I've since then had multiple accounts got funded, but this is one of my actual accounts. Shows you all the trades that it took. If you guys want to see, it got funded in 3 weeks. I have multiple accounts that have been funded, and I'm going to show you guys here the history of all of these actual trades. These are trades that happened back from April through May. So literally in about a little over 3 weeks, maybe, I got an account funded, and it'll show you every single trade that I took. Now, you don't have to win every single trade. You don't have to win every single time, but you do have to win overtime. There's a difference between winning every time and winning overtime. You guys see the difference? Of course, yes, there were a few losing trades mixed in there, but that's fine. That's part of life. Again, that's the expense part of this business. You really can't ever outrun it. It's like gravity. It's always there. You can't ignore it, but you don't have to give it tons and tons and tons of attention, right? So at the end of this ebook that I'll give you here in just a few minutes, at the end of this class, I want to share with you a few things that you can do to get started. And one of those is to at the back of the ebook, there is the step-by-step and how to download, install the software. I actually give you one of my older bots for free, and you're able to download it, and it walks you through how to do that. However, if you want a more thorough, hands-on explanation for how these work, where I walk you through it in a small group setting, if you want that deep understanding of how to set up, backtest, deploy, optimize, and review, then I highly recommend you sign up for a mentorship class with me. And it's typically done in a small group environment, either early morning or late or early afternoon, early evening rather. So early morning or early evening. And it's typically done on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those days may change a little bit, but that is kind of how I teach it in a small group format. And it's really the most cost-effective way to do that. So you don't necessarily have to pay for expensive one-on-one coaching. You're doing it in a group setting. So 5, 6, 10, sometimes 10 or 12 people in a group in a class at once. And what we'll do here is I will go ahead and send everyone who stayed here through this webinar, I'll send everyone my free ebook. If you don't have it yet, I will grab your email from the registration and send you the ebook. But what I want to do is I'm going to share the details of this. This class is what I have taught for almost a year now. And every single person who's gone through my class, their mind has been blown. You're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know these tools were available to the average retail trader. I thought I had to have a $100 million plus account in order to pay for these really powerful tools. And I'm here to share it doesn't have to be that way. There's really powerful tools that the average retail trader can use. You just have to understand where they are. You have to understand how to use the tools. And so what I do is I teach every Tuesday and Thursday at the beginning. Every class starts at the beginning of the month, very first Tuesday and Thursday of the month. Tuesday, so it's twice a week, and it's either the 8:30 a.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. Eastern. So you get to pick between your morning or evening class. Again, that's 7:30 a.m. Central or 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Of course, they last about an hour and 8 sessions. We go through it. It is normally $19.99. I'm discounting that $200 for the group in this class. I'll keep that open for maybe an hour or two. If you're interested, please sign up. Oh, again, we start at the top of every month. And also beyond that, I do record every single session. So don't worry if you miss a session. If you're like, well, Matt, I have to travel on some of the days that were scheduled. What do I do? Like, how do I make up? And so again, it is recorded, and I do give you homework. I do push you to do the actual work, to run the test, to learn all the things. And on top of that, I do give you a paper demo account. It's a $100,000 paper trading account. Has all the rules for the funding account, except it's just practice. If you grow at 10%, good job. It doesn't get funded. It's not an assessment account. It is a paper trading demo account so that you can learn over those 4 weeks. You can learn in a safe environment without having to make a mistake and blow up an account, or all the problems that come with when in a safe environment when trying to learn new things. So that is what I have for you guys. I do see a couple questions here in chat. And one of them is, what happens if I miss the session? If it is recorded, of course, we just talked about, yes, it is recorded. If you miss the session, I do record those and send them out to you. Let's see. What automated platform do you use to teach trading automation? So there are quite a few automated platforms out there. The one that I teach, the one that my bots run on, is called MetaTrader 5. And MetaTrader 5 is a free download, but it doesn't mean the bots are free. It's a free download, and you're able to use the bots in the MetaTrader 5, and I show you how to use all the tools that are built into MetaTrader 5, but that's it. So let's see, next one. Are the bots appropriate for me if I currently have no experience trading? Well, if you have a basic understanding of trading, my company, Real Life Trading, we do offer a bunch of free courses. We have a brand new beginner swing trading, beginner day trading, beginner long-term investing. All those are free if you feel like you need that or refresher. I have had plenty of people who've never placed a trade in their life sign up for the bots. Of course, some extra knowledge on how trading works wouldn't hurt, but it's not necessarily required. Okay, let's go to the next question. How many bots do you have? How many bots do I get in class? Well, I have about a dozen that I've created in class. We really go over about 4 different bots, and we spend about 2 sessions on each one. I explain how to work, how the bot works, how the strategy is executed. I give you homework to go back and find some things that it works really well on. Then we talk about it in the second class, and then the next class we go through yet another bot. And I show you how to use all the tools during all of those sessions. So, yep, great question. Again, I don't really sell the bots themselves. People ask me all the time, how can I buy your bot? And I really, I'm the anti-sales type person for the bot. I really want to make sure you understand how it works. If I give you something you have no idea how it works, like if you give a 2-year-old Ford Mustang, with an 8.0 V8 and like a 6.0 V8, he doesn't know what to do with it. It's not valuable, right? He does. Like, what are you going to do? You're probably going to wrap it around the tree, but you don't know what to do with it. And so again, that's why I don't really sell the bots. What I do is I show you how to use them, and I give you the bots for free. Okay, can you provide a video of the bots in action? Yeah, I actually have the 4 most popular bots that we go through. I do have a playlist where I go through maybe 10, 20, 30 minutes worth. I explain how each of them work, so I'll share the YouTube list there. Yep, fair enough. What are the bots' failure and success rate? So that's a great question, and it's really hard to say failure and success rate because you decide what you run it on. Each bot has about a dozen different settings, and I should think through those settings. And ultimately, I want you to make the decisions on what you run it on, what you're gonna turn it loose on, what you're gonna let it run on, either locally on your desktop or running in the cloud. I show you how to do both of those. But at the end of the day, there's literally hundreds of millions of possible combinations for all of the settings on the different time frames. It all depends. I will tell you that they usually have better than a 50-50 win-lose rate. So that means if you flip a coin, if you win, you win, let's say $120. If you lose $100. Over time, that 50-50 odds are going to work out in your favor. Again, you don't have to win every time. You got to win over time. There's a huge difference. Okay, let's see. Do I need an RLT assessment account in the program? And the answer is no, you don't. Actually give you the paper trading account if you want. If you're interested in getting an assessment account at the end of that 4-week session, by all means, you're able to do that. Get an assessment account, use the bot to help you grow that account. Easy enough. Yep. What size account do the bots work on? 50,000, 100, 200, 500K. Okay. So if you were to get an assessment account, each bot has a grouping of settings, about a dozen settings, where you tell it, here, I want to risk X amount. Let's say 1%. So in a 50K account, 1% would be $500, right? In a 200K account, that would be 1% would be $2,000. So there are some risk settings you can define and configure that tell the bot whether you want to be super conservative, super aggressive, or somewhere in the middle, maybe a little bit more moderate. You can absolutely configure the bots, and you tell them. So it doesn't matter which size account you use. All the defaults are set in place for the paper trading demo account that I give you at the beginning just for practice. Okay, where do I offer guarantees, or what is the return policy? So again, the bots, you're not paying for the bots. You're paying for the training, and I give you the bots for free in class. Of course, I show you how to test, operate, optimize, all the things, and I give you the bots for free, but only when you join the class. I give them away in the class itself. You're not going to find them available anywhere online that you can purchase or download. Those are that's the only place that I give the bots out. And after the group is over, I do put you in a WhatsApp group. We have a community of hundreds and hundreds of active bot traders who are talking and sharing ideas or helping each other if anyone gets stuck or they have problems with running a test or some kind of technical hiccup with their laptop or whatever. We kind of have a group that you're able to join. And I do post all the updates or any new updates, any features that I hear from the community. I go ahead and roll them into the next batch of updates and kind of release them in the WhatsApp group, which is of course free to join, doesn't cost anything extra. Okay, final question. I got a question for one more. Okay, where do I go to sign up for the class? So I'll go ahead and post a link right here in our chat panel, and it's basically matt-delong.com/bots, and that is where you can go to sign up and look at the schedule, see if it works for you. If the current month doesn't work, if you're traveling, again, it's recorded. If it still doesn't work, then typically I'm running these every month with a few exceptions. With holidays, of course, I'm typically not running them on December, but plenty of opportunity to sign up and join. That is all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, please email me, matt@reallifetrading.com, and I will see you guys in class. Thanks. Have a great evening.